This is the all-new 2019 Chevrolet Blazer. SUV enthusiasts, families, even empty nesters want to know so much about it. The reason is quite simple, and GM obviously said that they put a lot of effort into designing this SUV to not only make head turns, but to make you feel proud of what it is you purchased. And we have to admit that the job is well done, and my tester here is an RS with all kinds of options. I'll tell you how much it costs in a few moments, but let's address the front end right now. Obviously, this is heavily Camaro inspired, especially in the RS with this crazy grille action going on. I'm not crazy about the black on black or even this black chrome business, but this part right here is not a headlight. It's actually the LED daytime running light. Your headlight is down here. It's not a fog light. Okay, so base price for a 2.5 liter front wheel drive example is $35,200. A Premier, the top line version, is $48,800+++. The bulk of sales should be the True North Edition, which retails for $45,000. And if you want the vehicle, this one that you're seeing right here, with a few options, or the one you're going to see in all the commercials, you're looking at about $55,000. A lot of money for an SUV, but this is a lot of SUV. Oh yeah, there's your RS badge. It's kind of cool. Oh, this is also cool. Okay, so GM has that rear view camera mirror. So that's the actual camera for that. I'll show it to you when we get inside. It actually cleans. It's got a little jet that shoots washer fluid on it. This is your regular backup camera, so kind of gets the overspray to keep it clean. Nice touch, I suppose. So let's hope this works. There we go. Okay, power hatch, which reveals, as far as GM says, 864 liters of trunk space, which seems like a heck of a lot more than that. And if you put the second row down, there's a second row SUV, that's why it's kind of interesting. That number goes up to about 1,800 liters. That is huge. Okay, so the second row, it'll be like that. All right, there you go. So that's my driving position. Obviously, you can see the amount of legroom that is available. Lovely features such as a reclining and sliding, where's the handle? There it is, right here. Rear second row, so you can get less passenger space, more trunk space, vice versa. Also, depending on the trims, USB-A, USB-C, and your outlet right there, tons and tons of space. For the head, for the arms, a lot of nice features included in this depending on the trim. You can definitely sit 3 across. There is loads of room in here. And I have to say, presentation overall, there's your Camaro dash. Boom. That's another, the Blazer is all about attitude and design and styling. And, well, there's their inspiration. The inspiration is obvious. It's a Camaro. They've admitted it. And I think it's going to work quite well. With the RS, you also get all this red stitching, little red inserts all over the place, such as that, which is a lovely touch. Not entirely necessary, but hey. So let's turn her on. There's your 8-inch screen, which is lovely. And the new menus for the Chevrolet infotainment system work very well. CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation depending on the trim, 4G LTE, that's included in all of them. Here's another screen right down here. Everything is quite nice. The steering wheel, it depends on the trim as well. There's one thing I want to bring some attention to, and this is the all-wheel drive mode selector. So yes, your $55,000 in this case Blazer starts off as a 2x4. It's front-wheel drive. So if you want to access all-wheel drive in the winter, you're going to have to manually engage it. You can also drive this way at all times, which is what you should do anyway, so I don't understand why that is. I've asked the GM. They've not given me a satisfactory answer. Anyhow, we're going to go for a drive in a few minutes. I do love this whole array of controls, the long line. It's actually quite cool. It's nicely filled out with all the features available in this RS. Oh, and this also very neat. That is actual, that's your temperature setting, right? Watch the number. When I turn it clockwise, it's the ring around the vent. Kind of neat. Nice little touches. Everything is well integrated. I have to say the interior is quite nice. No, I don't like the black on black, but thankfully the drive is not affected by the color. So let's go for a spin, because I think definitely if design is good, time spent behind the wheel is the real. Okay, so before we head out on the road, I had mentioned that I wanted to show you GM's rear mirror. So here's your normal analog view, if you will. You can see my hand and part of my frightful face. So normally when you want to dim the mirror, right, you pull back on it. And when you do that in the GM product, it activates the rear camera. So your field of view, your depth is enormous compared to your normal sight. So, I mean, it doesn't compare at all. However, when you go from driving, analog view, if you will, and you check back behind you, I actually find myself having a hard time understanding what it is I see. You will get used to that, I'm sure, but the disparity or the difference in the precision, the view, the colors and everything, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. I have a hard time with that, but, well, you can always shut it off. All right, now driving the new 2019 Chevrolet Blazer, there are a few things that I must address first. Sorry. The first, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine only serves to lower the average fuel economy for the nameplate and the entry point price. In fact, Chevy only expects a barely 5% Blazers. Of all Blazer sales will be equipped with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. They don't want to sell it. That's it. They're not even working hard. In fact, there are none here today to drive. The second thing, the wheel that I showed you. Currently, I'm driving my $55,000 Blazer badass SUV in front wheel drive only. No matter how much throttle I give it or how terrible the road surfaces would be, all-wheel drive is locked out. Why? I have to manually activate it. Now I'm in all-wheel drive. How does that make sense? Fuel economy? No. Most systems are deactivatable or on demand is what I should say. So you're dragging the rear end anyway, and it gets slippery. I mean, a few hilly areas here. The wheel starts to slip, so there's the power to the back. Bob's your uncle, you never think about it, and that's it. No, GM insists that you have to activate it. Obviously, you can turn it on, leave it on always. But the system is preloaded. I'm actually trying to find out how much preload there is on the system from GM. I should have the information once I write my review up very shortly. Well, it'll probably be attached to this video, so things didn't happen at the same time, obviously. I'll leave it in 4x4. The real important stuff, the takeaway is that the Blazer is really, really good to drive. It's quiet, comfortable, refined, poised, controlled. I think, in one swift move, GM has entered this two-row midsize SUV and has knocked all of the competition out of the way. Now, I did mention, right, the front-wheel drive 2.5, and then you can get the 3.6 with front-wheel drive alone. But if you're gonna get an SUV like this, you get the 3.6 with all-wheel drive. Base price is $40, which lines it up directly with the Passport. Interesting. Speaking of the competition, now the Ford Edge is its most direct competitor. It has two edges, if you will, on the Blazer, and that's the 2-liter turbo engine, which is available as the base engine. It's far more interesting than the 2.5, which is not a bad engine, but still. And you can get the 2-liter turbo with all-wheel drive. And I think depending on the trim, the seats are a little bit more comfortable, but that's about it. Right now I'm on a broken road, And I would love to be in a non-RS Blazer to find out how the non-sport tune dampers actually manage such a broken surface. Generally speaking though, even right now, everything is very controlled, beautifully sorted. The ride is good, but again, better dampers. This is a fully independent setup, right? 5-link in the rear, fully independent up front, obviously. It's really nice. At speed, driving on some lovely curves and corners that we did earlier today. I'm gushing. I am completely blown away by how good the Blazer is. It's impressive. I've just mentioned it and I'll say it again. I think just in one move, not only on design and content, but on the driving experience, has Chevy knocked the competition on its ass. And I am including the Passport, which I really, really like. And I do enjoy the Edge as well. But this thing, wow. Very, very lovely vehicle. Anyhow, that's it. Bravo GM, bravo Chevy. This SUV kicks butt.